Hvad så alle sammen? Emmet her, velkommen tilbage til Rise of the Tomb Raider. Vi skal i gang med Blood Ties. Jeg sagde godt nok, at jeg ville spille den her i VR, men jeg havde ikke en særlig god oplevelse med at spille det i VR, så jeg tager det bare flat screen i stedet for. Men hey, det bliver vel godt alligevel, håber jeg i hvert fald. Det må vi se. Igen, det burde være det samme som resten af spillet, så jeg kan ikke forestille mig, at det vil være dårligere i hvert fald. Og jeg har spillet starten af det her spil. Jeg har spillet sådan 2 minutter i VR, for at prøve at få det til at virke. Det gjorde det ikke.
Lara Croft, a current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared. And given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor somewhere.
Jeg gætter på herinde.
That's safe. Needs a combination. It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library.
Library, ja. Men der er flere ting at kigge på.
I was so proud of that thing.
Det er lige noget, du har fundet fra McDonald's, fra Burger King eller sådan noget.
That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good.
The Treasure of the Ancient, ja. Godt, så jeg har masser af ting i det her hus at tjekke igennem. Jeg ved ikke, hvor lang den her DLC er, men det finder vi vel ud af.
I met someone tonight quite unexpectedly. But it shouldn't have been.
Jeg tror faktisk, jeg læser dem her i den her DLC.
So distracted by my latest revelations, I never bothered to notice my surroundings. But there she was, sitting at my table in the library. Her name is Amelia. And apparently she's been studying right next to me. Art history, of all things. I shared some of my research against my better judgment, but I wanted to see how she would respond. And she did not disappoint. I felt as if I was suddenly engaged in a mental game of chess, moving and counter-moving in argument. At one point, that poor old librarian had to shush us as if we were children. I feel so foolish for not having noticed her earlier. She's a brilliant woman who's challenged my ideas for the first time in memory. In truth, I don't know if she's feeling as exhilarated as I am right now, but I dare say our conversation was mutually stimulating. For the first time in a long time, I find myself thinking about something else besides my research. I hope she returns for another round tomorrow.
Jeg går ud fra, at det er Laras mor.
A good team, challenging each other from the start.
Ja. Jeg kigger bare på alle tingene.
Go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
Ja, men det lyder ikke som en god idé. Jeg kan godt lide at tage tingene med mig. Jeg kigger ikke bare på dem og stiller dem igen. Nej, jeg tager dem med mig. Der var intet dernede.
A picture with Dad and Anna. Never liked wearing dresses, but the color was nice.
Ja, Anna, det er hende, vi ikke kan lide længere. Vi kan ikke lide hende længere. Det synes hun er også død, så vi behøver ikke kunne lide hende længere. Lige kig på den her.
This is probably my grandfather Benjamin.
Ja, jeg ved ikke noget om det. Aha! En maske! Jeg ved ikke, skal noget med den her.
One of Dad's Yoruba masks. A gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria.
Nej, igen, jeg går ud fra alt det her bare collectibles. Men det er meget fint, de bliver highlightet. Det bliver nemmere for mig at finde dem så.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. I see but polite grace from mother, indifference and disinterest from father, and thinly veiled contempt from Atlas. Of course they don't approve. To them, Lord Croft is the man who took away their beloved daughter and ruined her long-standing engagement, though I was never going to marry that repugnant Earl of Farringdon anyway. One might think they would be happy that I was being courted by a genuine lord of the realm. It just happens to be Richard Croft. In their eyes, the man who single-handedly ruined a once great family. But there's nothing to be done now. Watching how Richard dealt with their subtle insults and disrespect. Such grace and calm. I know he did it for me. I think I'm falling in love with this man. It will break my mother's heart, but I cannot live the life she imagined for me. My time with Richard has only made this clearer.
Så det er først efter, I har været sammen nok til, at du valgte at introducere dem til din familie, at du forelskede dig i ham. Det føles lidt mærkeligt. Ja, for ellers havde du ikke været der, nej. Altså, kig på den ting der, altså kortven der.
Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the prophet's tomb.
Jeg ved ikke, foregår det her før eller efter spillet, sådan Rise of the Tomb Raider? Jeg ved det ikke. Jeg ved det selvfølgelig ikke. Der er en bog her i hvert fald.
Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research.
Når hun siger, at han var tættere på at finde tomb, end han skulle tro. Så går jeg ud fra, at det måske er efter.
Locked.
Ja.
There's got to be another way through.
Ja, der skal nok være en nøgle et sted. Der kigger jeg på. Og den der.
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum lately. I wish I knew more about her. How did you meet? What was she like? Winston told me that she was a brilliant artist. Are some of her paintings locked up in the West Wing? And I guess I just want to know, did she love me, Dad? Did she ever say that she did? Maybe I'm just being silly, but will you tell me more about her the next time I'm home from school?
Jeg kan ikke svare på nogle af de ting, der er desværre. Jeg håber det i hvert fald, hun elskede dig. Jeg håber jeg virkelig. Lara lader igen bare sin bærbare stå tændt. Translate.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot.
Den var koldt der lige herinde, jeg kunne se dine åndene. Men igen, jeg skal bare overgud, det er stort.
Grand hall. Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix.
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see...
We've been through this.
Was Mum's room in here?
Just stay out of there, darling.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing.
Og skal jeg bruge en lockpick? The Master Key. Ja. Igen, jeg tager bare alle de ting, jeg finder.
This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here?
Det er ikke den, jeg skal kigge på.
Someone has a sense of humor.
Ja, jeg går ud fra, det var den. Okay, så jeg skal bruge en Master Key. Kan Master Keyen låse op for alle tingene, eller hvad? Det vil være rart i hvert fald.
A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Ja, men igen, jeg håber ikke, at man skal dø for at kunne blive udødeligere. Det giver lidt... Det er lidt modsigende. Igen, det er ironisk, okay. Jeg prøver at gå herind. Jeg gætter på, at jeg ikke kan, men jeg prøver. Nej.
Locked. Need a key to open this.
Jeg skal bruge Master Key der også. Er der en kælder? Master Key igen. Jeg går mange steder hen med den nøgle. Men hvor er den der?
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
Ja. Hvorfor tager jeg alle de her ting? Hvorfor lader jeg dem ikke ligge?
Lara, Since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior.
Det var
I can only
første
assume
spiller.
you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you, loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it's time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estate, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely, your uncle.
Ja, jeg har det fint. Jeg ved, jeg har det fint. Det er det vigtigste.
Hey, Jonah. Sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the manor. A lot has happened, and I need some time to think about what I want to do next. This old place is filled with memories and secrets. Uncle Atlas has tried to keep me out of here for so long I don't even know if I want to keep it. But after everything that's happened, maybe I can find out what it still means to me. If it's worth fighting him for, I'll let you know how things worked out when I'm back in London.
Jeg tror, jeg ved, hvorhen i historien vi er nu. Det starter jo med, at vi er der, hvor vi tog hen til Syrien der. Hvor vi fandt Prophet's Tomb. Der havde det der andet kort, der førte os hen til bjergene der. Den der dal der. Og så var der den der kortsekvens, hvor vi var her i Manor'en. Hvor vi så blev angrebet. Og vi så derefter var bare sådan, fuck it, vi er nødt til at komme derhen før dem. Jeg går ud fra, at det er lige inden der, vi er. Så den her DLC slutter med, måske, jeg går ind i mit rum der og bare begynder at researche, og så bliver jeg angrebet. Måske. Det eneste, jeg kan forestille mig.
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip.
Jamen, det gjorde du ikke. Jeg ved ikke engang, hvad det der er. Jeg har ikke set... flash. Det er en flashlight. So all magic be turned on when entering darkness. Yeah.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Looking at the compass, thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
Nej, det gør jeg ikke. Bare rolig. Jeg går op over 3 spillere.
Post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I will meet him shortly. I never told him I was submitting my work. Never thought there was a chance of being accepted. Oh, but a gallery tour is not something I can pass up. The show will take me away from England for over a year. I'll begin
Hey Lord,
in New York
Jesus.
and travel across the United States and oh God, I'm giddy even writing these words. When Richard and I were married, I was prepared to relegate my painting to a hobby, but it was Richard who objected, who gave me my atelier and studio. Without that support, I might still be painting boring landscapes. Now I can't shake the foolish sensation that leaving would be a betrayal. He will laugh at that and insist I accept, even though I know it will break his heart to be apart. He never once asked me to sacrifice any part of my life for his. I have, of course, in 1,000 small ways over the years, but he would never ask. The discussion can wait, and I will join him in Tibet. I won't cast a shadow over his find. I will be by his side in his triumph, as I know he will stand by my side, in time.
Selvfølgelig, hvor vi håber, han vil i hvert fald. Men, igen, jeg ved det jo ikke. Det var det der DLC skal fortælle baghistorien. Det giver jo god mening, at jeg ikke kender de her ting. Så det ser ud til, at jeg har alt ovenpå og rundt omkring, så der må vel... Hvor i verden skal jeg hen? Der er et eller andet sted, jeg har misset.
I really need to brush up on my ancestors one of these days.
Ja. Okay, skal jeg udenfor, eller hvad er det? Er det derfor, jeg tog lommelygtene? Ellers er jeg virkelig ikke sikker på, hvor jeg skal hen. Nej. Okay, Den gemte, vent lidt. Var det her der altid? Jeg synes, det er tjekket.
I've reviewed the report from your therapist. I have to say I was surprised to see a clean bill of health.
Det var det, jeg sagde.
I doubt you've so easily abandoned your irrational claims. Indeed, where have you been the past few weeks? My secretary discovered that you booked a flight to Turkey on the 20th. You can't have been simply sightseeing, as your customs claims suggest. I know you're up to something, and I'll be damned if I let you use the Croft assets to indulge the same obsession that led to my sister's death. It's not too late to relinquish your claims on the manor voluntarily. If you refuse, I will find a way to cut you off. Sincerely, Atlas.
Så er det jo ikke rigtigt voluntarily, hvis det er, du tvinger hende til det. Okay, så hvor er den trappe? Hvad er det her? Jeg har mistet mange ting heroppe, åbenbart. På en eller anden måde. Survivalist instinct. Kunne jeg altid bruge den?
I always loved looking at these. Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
Ja. Jeg har mistet mange ting, åbenbart.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Og noget siger mig, at det er den vej, jeg skal lige nu.
Wait, I can get to the library through the old servants' corridor.
Ja. Men nu hvor jeg har fundet ud af, at jeg kan bruge mit survival-vision, jeg vil lige prøve at gå tilbage og se, om der er nogle flere ting, jeg ikke har fået samlet endnu. Nej, det ser ud til, at jeg har det hele. Der er bare lige nogle ting, som jeg mangler. Nogle ting til, som lighter og master key der. Så vi går bare igennem den her skjulte dør, der åbenbart er her.
Amelia, the news has reached Mother. She knows that you broke off your engagement with the Earl of Farringdon. She is beside herself with worry. But, for the moment, she's controlling the narrative. As far as anyone knows, you're just having innocent second thoughts. But the moment your affair with Lord Croft goes public, it will be too late. Our name will be as ruined as this man you've chosen to bed. Don't you see that you're being selfish, Amelia? Please, consider your family. You're a de Mornay. Everything you do has a greater effect on us all. I'm coming down to London soon. Don't do anything rash until we have a chance to talk.
Ja, noget siger mig, at det ikke rigtig går godt. Jeg håber, det ender godt. Hvorfor kan jeg kun gå pludselig? Hvorfor må jeg ikke løbe længere? Derfor måske.
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
Nej, du.
They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I have passed that test with flying colors. Indeed, these last few months in Egypt have been nothing short of extraordinary. She and Roth get on like old uni chums. In fact, the two have spent more than a few nights drinking and playing cards into the wee hours. Despite her decidedly proper upbringing, Amelia's taken to roughing it more than I ever have. She fits in and connects with the local populace with such amazing empathy. Because of her, I've had a bit of an unexpected breakthrough in my research. She managed to convince an artifact dealer in Old Town to sell me a magnificent and quite unusual Tibetan scroll. From what I can tell, it seems to contain details surrounding an immortality ritual of some sort. I think it's time for me to take the next step with Amelia. In fact, I don't think I can wait any longer. I will ask for her hand tomorrow in the bright Egyptian sun amidst the dust and ruins.
Jeg tror nok, du kan få lidt mere romantisk sted at gøre det, men...
Surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
Men hvis han får ideen, så spørger han bare. Og der er låst, så vi skal længere ned. Master key. Jeg går ud fra det sted, hvor jeg så kommer ud nede på ground floor, måske. Det skulle meget skulle sætte i stand med det her hus.
Amelia, I know we have had our differences in recent years, I've tried my best to keep an open mind about your relationship with Richard, but I just can't let you go on this ill-conceived expedition without saying my piece. You say Richard's theories have merit. You say that he may have actually stumbled upon some mythic, unknown truth, but I have seen nothing to support such claims. And while your word may have been enough in times past, I cannot let you squander away what remains of your name and reputation, and that of our family, truth be told, on some damned foolish crusade. I intend to go to Richard's investors and let them know exactly how he's spending their money, but I want to give you a chance to put a stop to this yourself. Please, don't go to Tibet. If not for me, at least for Lara.
Jamen noget siger mig, hun valgte at tage til Beth alligevel. Hvad skete der? Det lød hurtigt et øjeblik, som om at jeg...
As creepy as I remember.
Som om jeg aktiverede en eller anden trap. Hvad sker jeg med den her? Ramme af, gætter jeg på. Ja. Men jeg har lige den her nede, jeg skal samle op først. Så hvorfor kan jeg ikke løbe hernede? Det er godt nok irriterende.
My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health. Before I bore you with estate affairs, I wanted to let you know that our little angel has been into some mischief. As always, I indulged her in our usual game of chess. Over the course of the game, she broached the subject of her mother. She's having trouble remembering her now, and wanted to enter her ladyship's atelier, which you sealed off, to play on her mother's piano. It enraged her when she wasn't allowed to go in, of course. For someone so young, she has such strong emotions. Later in the day, she set a trap for me in the walk-in freezer, of all places. Before I knew what was happening, I found myself locked inside. Mrs. Sheffield discovered me an hour later, shivering and somewhat peeved. It took us an additional hour to find Lara in the grounds. I know all her hiding places, of course, but this time she really did not want to be found. Call it years of observation, but I can tell when she's out of sorts. My lord, if I may be so bold, she misses you fiercely. She is lonely for her father. Please consider a call as soon as you are able.
Ja, ikke rigtig være sammen med sine forældre er ikke godt for
I
børnene.
remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
Jeg er bare låst den i en fryser i en time. Det er sgu... det lyder koldt.
I'm at a crossroads now. Good lord, that's such a cliche. But there's truth in it. Two roads before me. Both present joy and compromise. A life with Richard, adventure, intellectual pursuit, perhaps a new family. But also a man obsessed with something I cannot understand. Or a life of obligation, upholding the de Mornay name, embracing our traditions, not losing the family that raised me. Oh, this really is a rubbish choice. I don't want to lose them, but I love the life I've started to build with Richard. He comes with his own difficulties, but I can accept them. Will it be enough?
Hvis du kan lide det liv, så ja. Altså dine egne ord, du elsker det liv, som I langsomt bygger op. Jeg vil sige, det er godt nok til at tage det.
Clever girl. But you should know by now, winning isn't everything.
Jo.
King to king's bishop 6. Check.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, Lara. Don't rush to victory. Bishop to king 7.
I know, Winston. I just want... Oh no! I didn't even see that!
You should also know by now, I'm not to be trifled with on this board, young lady. Mate.
Oh, I am going to win. Someday.
Så vandt du den på et tidspunkt, det ved jeg ikke.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him.
Åbenbart ikke, så... Så hvad er det, jeg leder efter?
I always chose white. Maybe if I let him go first once in a while, I might have won.
Ja, der kan du se hans taktik. Og missing gear. Crowbar. Hvad skal jeg bruge et crowbar til? Så meget at lave i den her DLC. Hvis jeg kunne løbe, ville jeg blive hurtigere færdig, men... nej, det må jeg ikke. Den kan jeg ikke læse fra den side af. Okay, om på den anden side så. Læs nu, sådan der.
Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organizing the affair and keeping it secret. She's obsessed with Egypt, memorizing hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts, so she'll be delighted with what Lord Croft has come up with. This will be good for her. She's been acting up of late, but I know she's just craving more of her father's attention. He's been so buried in his research. It'll be a nice moment for the two of them to reconnect. And I do believe he needs it as much as she does.
Sikkert, ja, hvad jeg hører, så ja. Jeg gætter på, at det er bare, ja, det er bare fra den anden side af, men der skal læse den her seddel først. Det ikke at se ud til. Nej. Jeg bugger. Jeg tror, det bør være fint der, hvor den sover. Og så bagefter går jeg om på den anden side igen. Se, hvis jeg kunne løbe frem for at kunne gå, så ville det være meget nemmere. Jeg ved ikke, om jeg skal noget med den seddel der. Det går jeg ikke ud fra. Jeg vil lige tage noget lys med mig.
Dad loved a good bottle of wine.
Det er en flaske.
I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
En mærkelig flaske, vil jeg sige. Er det her vand? Nej, det var mudder. Så crouch. Hvorfor er jeg stuck?
Dad, this is it. The basement of despair.
Indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Look there. See the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The keepers of knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Tripwire?
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm
sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
Jeg ved intet. Men uanset hvad, det er langsomt. Jeg kan kun gå. Kan jeg se mit core? Det er et eller andet sted. Den der ting, note er samlet op. Og jeg håber, at tingene vil dukke op. Mit survivor vision. Så jeg lægger noget heromme. Jeg går ikke ud. Jeg går ud fra, at det bare er en collectible. Hvad er det her?
My stuffed bear. I couldn't have a tomb without a mummy.
Ja, sure. Sure, for hvad jeg vil være lidt bekymret, hvis mine børn, de gjorde det der. Men igen, altså, vi er ikke treasure hunter i mit hjem, så jeg vil ikke rigtig kunne relatere til det på den måde. Tripwire. Jeg går ud fra, at det er min master key, det der. Så hvorfor skal jeg gå så langsomt? Det er skide irriterende, det her.
One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my
jeg kan bare
hair
klikke på
to
tingene,
make
det er meget
this.
nemmere.
He and Dad put a lot of work into this birthday surprise.
Og så tager den bare.
Water damage from the main hall above.
Så vi er ude nu. Kan jeg begynde at løbe igen nu? Nej, jeg skal stadig gå. Jeg hader, når spil gør det her. Det gør intet. Bare udover, det tager længere tid for dig at gøre ting. Det er det eneste, det gør. Det er ikke fordi, det er mere immersive, eller bygger tension eller noget. Bare intet. Jeg skal stadig bruge en crowbar at gå ud fra. Ja, selvfølgelig. Men det siger man på et eller andet tidspunkt. Når jeg kommer til library, så skal jeg ned igen. Hvis Lara, hvis du gider at kravle. Det gider hun åbenbart ikke. Okay. Hvorfor ved jeg ikke? Er der en crowbar hernede, jeg skal finde først så? Jeg kan ikke se noget. Tilbage af. Er det? Der har vi nøglen til, ligner det. Eller, nej, hvad er det her? Anubis.
This bust of Anubis was from Dad's Egyptian collection. He must have put it down in the basement for our little expedition.
Ja. Men hvad skal jeg? Okay, jeg er tilbage. Der var jo bare sket en bug, så når jeg konstant var i walk mode der. Og når jeg er i walk mode, kan jeg ikke kravle op ad en stige. Så jeg var lige nødt til at lukke mit checkpoint. Og nu virker det. Nu virker det. Sådan der. Og nu kan jeg jo imens løbe rundt, så nu bliver det hurtigere.
Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Jeg finder den page på et tidspunkt. Finder den ud af.
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met, I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I am such a fool. I have let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long, and it may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, always putting my research before my personal life. But it's never hurt like this before. I simply cannot live without her. If I have to give up this accursed quest that has plagued me for so long, then so be it. I am going after her, right now, tonight.
Ja, noget siger mig, at det var et sted her omkring, at han blev skudt. Jeg ved ikke hvorfor. Noget siger mig bare, at det ikke endte godt. Jeg er i biblioteket nu. Er det biblioteket? Jeg ved det. Ja, det er det.
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
Så jeg skal kigge på alle tingene herinde.
I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox research was just something I had to live with. But this time, the thrill of discovery has taken hold of me. I never imagined I could be drawn in this way. Richard cabled to tell me he's found the monastery. The symbol we deciphered in the scroll was the key to its location. I don't know if I honestly believe that this will lead to the fabled elixir of life, but I can't help but feel that a great secret awaits us there. My brother was threatening to shut down the expedition, but I managed to talk him down for the time being. Now I am going to meet Richard. I would bring Lara if I could, but she's still too young. She'll be in good hands with Winston, and when we return, her parents might just be a bit more famous.
Ja, man blev i det. Noget siger mig, at de ikke fandt den alligevel. Det var hoax eller et eller andet. Og jeg kan det gå længere op af. Lige tjekke alt nedenunder først.
This music is familiar. It's beautiful.
Jeg synes ikke, jeg kan kende den.
It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly?
Jeg ved det ikke. Så bruger en master key. Noget siger mig, at jeg finder den nøgle herinde et sted. Jeg ved ikke hvorfor.
I've created a clever little map
Eller
for Lara's
crowbar.
birthday
Eller
expedition.
de to.
I used the invisible ink Amelia picked up for me in Morocco so many years ago. At the time, I remember being so annoyed by that rather aggressive street vendor, but she just smiled in her sunny way and paid him without a second thought. I assumed it was just a tourist scam, but it actually works. Turns out it requires a very specific kind of vellum and a heat source to illuminate the ink after it's dried. It should prove a nice challenge for Lara to puzzle out.
Det er det, ja. Dem kender jeg godt. Virker det samme ikke også med citronsaft eller sådan noget? Så okay, måske kan det også være lighteren, jeg finder herinde. Uanset hvad, jeg finder noget. Der er så mange noter. Lige interactor.
Remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Ja, så længe du bare ikke begynder at bruge hieroglyffer i skolen,
Let me see.
så er ingen problemer.
These two myths are referencing the same source material. But where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling.
Det er lige præcis hvad jeg er. Hvorfor fryser jeg pludselig?
Those were good times. The best times. This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs.
Ja, havde jeg ikke allerede kigget på den bog? Jeg kiggede ellers på, der må have lagt en seddel på bogen først.
One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find.
Jeg kan ikke læse, hvad der står. Got cakes need to William Blake. Jeg ved det ikke. Forværligt, jeg kunne ikke læse dem. Det kan I sikkert gøre bedre end mig.
I've reached the monastery. As Roth predicted, it was hidden deep in the Himalayas, and now that I'm standing on these high stone walls, I am overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the mountains that surround me. It is simply breathtaking. But what adds to their spiritual majesty is the truth of this place. The monks welcomed me, as is their way, but they seemed to expect me. They must have known someone like me would eventually come seeking answers. I know this is the place. They've conducted the ritual before. I have seen the evidence, the distinctive symbols carved into the floors, the art displayed on the inner chamber's walls. They've created the elixir before, and they will again if I can convince them. I sent Amelia a message straight away. I want her by my side for this discovery.
Så du finder stedet, og så vil du vente på, at hun kommer herop for at undersøge stedet.
Was it the elixir of life?
Ja, det var lige præcis det var, men noget siger mig, at han ikke fandt den. For hvis han fandt den, hvorfor ville han så lede efter divine source?
Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
Shit, jeg skal ud og finde tallene nu.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. There's something else here.
Jeg ved det. Jeg vil have tjekket det.
Dad's lighter. I don't
Aha.
remember him ever using it though. The Croft family crest and initials PC. I wonder if this belonged to my grandfather.
Benjamin Croft, måske. Det er godt nok en gammel lighter, så...
Okay, should be able to light the fireplace now.
Jamen, hvorfor? Jeg går ud fra det der invisible ink der.
This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing pictures of tigers.
Hvorfor lige tiger?
Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventures. Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time.
Stakkels skulder. Kravl op. tilbage. Sådan der. Så hvad er der heroppe? Vil det her bare være at åbne døren, eller hvad?
Blank, except for the image of a key. I remember this map now. It leads to the master key, but we made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a
Jeg
fire.
ved det. Jeg ved det. Jeg ved det. Jeg ved
I think
det.
I stashed
Jeg
one
ved
of
det.
Winston's
Jeg ved
master
det.
keys in here when I was a kid.
Jeg tror, jeg lige skulle ud og lede efter master key. Ja, derovre. Der har jeg ikke været op at tjekke endnu. Hvad tænder jeg op helt præcist?
I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase. X marks the spot, as they say.
Så her. Jeg skal flytte den her. Der har vi den. Så lige gider at tage den, Lara. Lara, hvis du... Sådan der.
The master key. This should get me into the west wing.
Det er godt, så gudskelov, jeg er bange for, at jeg lige skulle ind i et andet rum hurtigt for at finde den. Sådan der. Acquire master key.
Open most rooms in the manor, including the forbidden west wing.
Lara, det gør du ikke. Hvad er der heroppe? Der var...
This picture was taken in the library. 1820 additions to the main hall in progress.
Var det et af de tal, jeg skulle bruge? Det ved jeg ikke. Det kan jeg ikke huske. Jeg håber selv, den holder track på, hvilke tal jeg har, og jeg ikke skal huske dem med. Skal jeg lige... Skulle jeg ikke bruge en master key til den dør hernede? Skulle jeg jo.
I think there might be more clues to find in the library.
Hvor er jeg henne? Helt præcis. Ja. En helt ny floor, men jo, der er andre ting herinde, ved jeg. Der er noget ovenpå. Der var den der kiste der. Og en dør, som jeg tænker... Lad være. Som jeg tænker bare fører tilbage ud til kontoret der. Men hey, når jeg alligevel er derude, lad mig lige så godt låse døren op. Jeg vil prøve at se, at der er spores herude, fordi at der er historie, de vil fortælle mig. Jeg tror jeg, det betyder.
The pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8?
Jeg ved det ikke, men jeg går ud fra, at jeg leder efter... Talan, det er et eller andet sted.
I think this hieroglyph corresponds to a number, but which one?
De to fugle. Det ved jeg ikke. Lad mig lige... Vil det være relics, de ender der?
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number.
Okay. 5 af 1 af tallene. Nu skal jeg lige... Hvor var det? Hvad er det her?
I can see the map. Blank.
Ja, det har jeg.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Jeg tror ikke, jeg så den der på noget tidspunkt. Jeg har fundet de her ting. Men hvad er det der? Det ved jeg ikke, hvad er. Hvorfor den her 1 ud af 2? Er det bare fordi, der er 2 expedition maps, eller hvad på den måde? Jeg ved det ikke.
For God's sake,
Okay, Laras Expedition Tracer. Det første tal er 5.
Lara's expedition.
Den skal jeg huske på.
Okay, Dad's clues mention Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing.
Ja, det ser ikke ud til noget herinde i hvert fald. Jeg bare gæt. Altså, hvis det kun er 3 tal, og jeg har den første, så burde det være nemt at trial and error mig frem til den sidste. Tænker jeg. Må se hvad, jeg kunne fra den crowbar, der er heroppe. Skulle jeg alligevel af i gang, lad mig låse dørene op. Wait, over.
Worse than I thought.
Måske var det derfor, jeg aldrig måtte gå herinde.
The Croft family crest.
Ja. Jeg havde forventet et crowbar. Men hey, det er jo ikke... det er ikke mig, der bestemmer, hvilke ting, som vi vælger at låse væk rundt omkring. Jeg har overhovedet ikke nogen sag i det. Skal lige, det var den her vej. Det er vel bare tilbage af til biblioteket, tænker jeg. Ja, der er biblioteket lige der. Ja, collect 50 documents.
I took the liberty of preparing a tray, as dinner did not go according to plans. I've included, in addition to your meal, a few treats. I would appreciate it if you kept this between us, but I felt tonight called for something special. If you will forgive me the indulgence, your rapid exit from the dinner table had me concerned, and I wanted to impart something that I hope sets your mind at ease. I have known your father for quite some time. There is an intensity to his passion that can be frightening, but I recognize that same passion in you. You're more like him than you know. Never doubt that he loves you more than his research, more than his artifacts, more than anything in this world. Storms pass, and tomorrow will be clear and blue again. When you have finished, please leave the tray outside. Be well. Yours, Winston.
Ja. Har du en kommentar til det, Lara? Åbenbart ikke. Jeg tror ikke, jeg skal noget hverken op eller ned. Jeg tænker, jeg ved, jeg skal ned under, når jeg får en crowbar på et tidspunkt i hvert fald. Så indtil da, der bør jeg bare holde mig væk. Eller hvordan man vil sige det helt præcis. Og jeg skal også lige tænde den her. Jeg ved ikke, hvorfor jeg vil tænde den her, men jeg tænder den her. Ja, der burde ikke være nogen dør dernede, så nej, det er bare West Wing, vi skal nu.
This is strangely beautiful.
Ja. Okay, jeg har 2 objectives. Start med at gå den her vej. Jeg går ud fra det morens værelse, måske.
I believe it took this trip to push me over the edge. I've been able to see Richard in his element, seeing him at his best and his worst. I've experienced the purity and chaos of his passion, and I came to realize I want his passion in my life every day. So it's done. Richard wanted to wait another 4 days until my birthday, but I wouldn't have it. Once I make a decision, I prefer to get on with it. So we found a small chapel in Luxor that was just right. And with Roth and the others at our side, we married as the sun set over this remarkable
What?
Mother will never forgive me. Atlas will forever resent me. But I don't care anymore. I'm free of Des Mornay obligations. Free to pursue my own passions and live my life surrounded by those who will encourage and challenge me. I'm excited for the future, whatever it may bring. Tomorrow, Richard and I return home to London as the Crofts, forging our path together.
Ja, imens er I lykkelige sammen. Lidt tid endnu. Og der har vi ved ringene.
Ring. I always wondered what happened to it.
Der. Tallene står lige der.
The inscription is faded.
Yes. Jeg tror man plejer at have sådan bryllupsdagen skrevet på ringen. Åbenbart ikke.
I am bursting with pride. Amelia is with child. It is amazing how everything in life can change with such a simple event. Obviously, we don't know the gender, but already we've discussed possible names. Perhaps Benjamin, after my grandfather, or maybe Griffin. He was more infamous at Croft than even me. No, Amelia wouldn't have it. Besides, she's certain it's a girl. She favors a classic such as Scarlet or Kate, though I've made some headway with Lara. A subtle nod to the sun god Ra, and our days in Egypt, where certainly this child was conceived. I find myself thinking about this new life we've created, of how much she might be like us. For all my research into myths of immortality, I may have ignored the most obvious answer to the questions that plague me. We live on through our progeny, our genes, DNA, experiences passed through the generations. Perhaps this is the simple truth of eternal life, and I've just been too stubborn to accept it.
Ja, mennesker burde ikke leve for evigt.
Discovered the secret to immortality without even knowing it.
Nej. Nej og ja på samme tidspunkt.
Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. October 13th, Mum's birthday.
Og der blev sagt, der var 4 dage til, så det må vel være den 9. oktober?
Pretty sure my parents were married in October. I think it was close to her birthday.
Den 9. Den 9.
Mum, on her wedding day, she looks so beautiful. There's a date, October something. Damn, the number is faded.
Ja, men det er kun et nummer.
Was in October, but which day?
Den 9.
I don't know this. There's got to be another clue somewhere.
Det er den 9.
My mother's perfume. The smell. So familiar. I can almost remember her.
Ja. Endnu en statue.
Is Dad. I suppose it's a family tradition, but I can't imagine having one of these made of me.
For at lave det på et tidspunkt. Det får hun sikkert i træerne.
After everything Atlas has done,
I think this was Dad's pocket watch.
Ja, jeg kom til at springe over det før.
Looks like it stopped precisely at midnight.
Suspicious.
tell him about the expedition.
It's just all been too much. I needed to talk to someone. He's still my brother.
I don't trust him.
You don't have to, Richard, but please, trust me.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I know him. He'll take it to the papers. The investors will pull out.
Then go. Without me. Tonight. I will take care of Atlas. And then meet you in Tibet next week.
I was so young, but I still remember that terrible argument. It wasn't always an easy road for my parents.
Nej. Og vi har flere ting. Jeg tænker på, at det er den 9. der er deres anniversary.
Amelia would not have approved.
Så det er 5 noget 9.
But I am, as God made me, a stubborn fool. I locked all the West Wing's doors, and I shall not open them again until either my life or my obstinacy comes to an end. The night before, Roth told me I would someday change my mind. Like a broken arm cast in plaster, he said. The wound would heal, and we would someday shed the bandages to be whole again. The metaphor made me furious. The clumsy way he cast our loss off as nothing more than an inconvenience. There is wisdom in his rough words, but I've done what I must. Perhaps one day, Lara will throw back the doors to let the sun shine in again. Maybe she will find her own sense of peace in this place.
Jeg finder min piece, når jeg finder det dokument, der siger, at det er huset er mit.
At least that
Fik jeg knap.
thing still works.
Okay, men alligevel, jeg har en. Så skal jeg finde den dokumentet. Okay, jeg kunne ikke finde dokumentet. Jeg ved ikke hvorfor. Men jeg er ret sikker på, at det blev sagt 4 dage før hendes fødselsdag. Så jeg er ret sikker på, at det er den 9. Der omkring, så...
Okay, Lara, keep it together. You're starting to see
Så igen.
things.
5, noget 9. Jeg ved ikke engang, hvad så jeg? Jeg så intet.
Mum's atelier. Dad sealed it soon after she died. He probably couldn't bear the idea of removing any of her belongings.
My lord, we all hope your work was well received at the conference and look forward to your return. As is so often the case with these missives, I wanted to call your attention to an incident involving our little angel. It seems that Lara has been the subject of some ridicule amongst the other girls at school. From what I can gather, some of the other young ladies were teasing her for being too much of a tomboy. You know how Lara can get when pushed into a corner. Let's just say they won't be bothering her again. But I do think their words have had an effect. I believe Lara has been missing her mother lately. She's begun to worry that she isn't like the other girls. And having grown up with only a father, it shouldn't come as a surprise that she has trouble relating to them. I wonder if this new friend of yours, Anna, is it? Perhaps she might prove a welcome influence. It might be worth bringing her to the manor to meet Lara. In any case, I'll let you decide the proper time to do that. Please travel home safely. Yours, Winston.
Ja, på lang sigt, der bliver Anna nok ikke god for familien, siger det bare. Jeg ved ikke, hvorfor der er bare et eller andet, der siger mig, at der er et eller andet med Anna der, som ikke er godt.
Exactly as she left it.
Ja, nu skal jeg finde, hvad yndlingsbilledet er.
I stood up to my family's criticism, stood in defense of Richard and our love. But as my new life began in Croft Manor, doubt set in. How could love flourish in these cavernous halls and endless passageways? Had I made a terrible mistake? I have never been more delighted to be wrong. Richard welcomed me to the manor, my new home, with a game. It was a clue, written in jumbled words from 5 different languages, but it pointed the way forward. The next clue was a seemingly blank piece of parchment in the kitchen, where the heat of a candle revealed a message written in lemon juice. I followed each step, grinning like a child as I solved his riddles and chased the trail to its end. A white cloth stretched out on the lawn where a picnic was laid out. We laughed and ate, and my doubt vanished with the last of the morning mist. Love can and will endure.
Åh, det var sødt gjort. Det er sådan en lille treasure hunt ud til en picnic. Ja, det burde jeg gøre på et tidspunkt.
I don't have...
Det er noget, jeg kan se i bagsiden. Fuck.
I don't have any memory of this. I wish I could remember doing this. Mum died too young.
Hvad er det der billede? Det er det, du tænker på, eller hvad? Går jeg vel udefra? Endnu et billede.
Mum with me as a baby. I've never seen this. Hard to believe I was ever that small.
Det siger alle, når de ser på babyer. Men alligevel, det er sandt alle sammen.
Mum's paintings. Which one was Dad's favorite?
Den er været ud af.
I returned home this afternoon to collect the last of my paintings. I suppose I should say I returned to my family's home. Atlas was there, in one of his foul moods, and even as he dripped venom for Richard with his cruel barbs, I could only laugh. To think that I once listened to my bitter brother in matters of my own happiness. My dismissal only served to infuriate him more. I left him there in Father's study, muttering to himself. On the drive back, as Winston took a longer route through the country, I looked through my paintings, Richard's favourite one among them, a simple abstract with blocks of red. I smiled, thinking about giving it to him. I was happy, and I was going home.
Blocks of red.
Blocks of red. Dad's
Så den her.
favorite painting. Maybe something about that painting will help me figure out the combination. Okay, back to the study to open that safe.
Hvad? 4? Fordi der er 4 af dem. Jeg ved det ikke. Og hvor er den der crowbar, jeg skal bruge?
You almost got it, darling. Here, let me show you. Like this, see? Well done, Lara. Well done.
I wonder how my life would have been different had she lived.
Jeg går ikke ud fra, at vi havde haft spillene, så til vis grad værre. Men igen,
I'm glad I still have so much of Mum's work.
det burde være en crowbar et sted, jeg skal bruge for at åbne nogle ting. Jeg ved ikke, hvordan jeg finder den. Men finder jeg vel ud af på et tidspunkt. Måske er det bare en collectorbrød, skjult ting eller noget. Jeg vil ikke vide det.
Dad, what do you keep in there?
Nothing too important, Lara. Estate business and such.
If it's not important, then why bother putting it in a safe?
I should know better than to try and pull one over on you. There is something important in here. And it's for you, should you need it someday.
Well, let's hope you came through for me, Dad.
Okay, så 5, 4, 9, jeg tror
found
det
the
er.
clues. Let's see if I can figure this out. That worked.
Jeg er bare så god, jeg er.
It makes me happy to know that Dad kept this safe.
Det er ikke, hvad jeg skal bruge.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Der er mere derinde, Lara.
I am numb. It is taking all my willpower to hold back the overwhelming grief. Amelia's plane crashed in the mountains. She died alone in the snow, waiting for me to find her. Oh God, not her, not now. I cannot accept it. Life without her is too painful to imagine. I know what must be done, and I am resolved. I'm going to bring her back. Perhaps this is why I am here. Perhaps this is fate, a test of my faith in the truth I've sought for so long. Roth will fight me on this, but I can't face Lara. I can't look into her eyes unless I try. I must try to bring Amelia back. The monks are preparing the elixir now, and then we will see if all my years of hunting this truth was for naught.
Noget siger mig, at det var for Nord.
What did you do? Dad's sequel to his first book on immortality. He never got a chance to publish it. Handwritten. This is the only copy.
Ja, hvad står der i den? Det er sådan det, jeg skal bruge.
This isn't it either. I was certain there had to be a will in here.
Ja,
Wait, what's that?
Ja, jeg ved det. Vi skal brænde den.
A blank page. Dad
ved,
must
vi er
have
ikke færdige.
left this for me. It has to be important.
Den fører mig hen til, hvor der er et crowbar, og så skal jeg åbne skabene ned i kælderen. Og så er der noget. Jeg tror ikke, der er andre steder, jeg skal bruge et crowbar. Det kan kun være nedenunder. Jeg har ikke set andre steder. Jeg mindes ikke, jeg har set andre steder i hvert fald.
A hidden message.
Det er.
What are these strange marks? They have to be some kind of clue.
Hieroglyffer. Jeg tager lige et billede af det hurtigt. Bare lige for at det bliver... Jeg ikke behøver at skulle huske dem. Of the black leather. The black letter. Nu skal jeg lige... Hieroglyphers spreadsheet.
Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Ja. Så et tal vi har 1 er en af dem. 142 er det. 142 er kode til et eller andet. Jeg skal lige se hvad kortet faktisk er henne.
A blank page.
Og måske burde jeg lige kigge på den rigtige.
A hidden message.
Jamen, hvor er det her helt præcis? Det er det, jeg ikke er sikker på. Jeg synes ikke, det er et sted, virker bekendt. Er det nede i kælderen? Jeg tror, det er nede i kælderen. Jeg skal ned i kælderen. Den der. Hvad sker jeg med den? Ah. Nej. Hvad var det, jeg sagde? 1, 4, 2. Yes. Damn.
Damn, locked in.
Jamen, noget siger mig, at jeg får en crowbar, når jeg kommer ud. Ja, det ser langt. Hvad jeg kan... der er den. Det går andet.
Open the secret door from the inside. Hope I'm not trapped in here.
Noget siger mig, at du ikke er det, Lara. Bare rolig.
Did Dad build all of this just to keep his research safe?
Wow. Hvor crowbaren er?
The renovations are proceeding in secret. The work crew Roth hired for the job have been paid handsomely to keep the details of the job out of the records, so I'm fairly confident no word will get out about what I'm doing. I've been careless with presenting my findings, attracting all the wrong sorts of attention. Roth thinks I'm being paranoid by building this secret vault, but I know I'm being watched. My work is too important and potentially too dangerous. It can't fall into the wrong hands. I need a secure place to keep it all safe.
Ja, men noget siger mig, at det ikke er secret meget længere. Blueprints.
Page from the renovation plans. They didn't want anyone outside the family knowing about this crypt.
Nej, med god grund. Og det er noget fra det første spil, jeg ser en samurai. Det minder mig om det første spil.
My love. It is silent. So peacefully silent now. Even after the madness and chaos of the crash, I can't help but still wonder at the beauty of these mountains. I understand the magic that drew you here. Please know that I feel no pain in this moment. Only immense sadness. Sadness that I couldn't see your smiling face once more. That I'll never meet the wonderful woman that our daughter will become. There is so much to say, but I'm tired. The sun is setting. The cold of night will overwhelm me. I know I will fall asleep soon, and likely never again awaken in this world. I'm scared. Richard, what lies beyond? You know I've always struggled with faith, so I'm holding on to yours for now. I'm holding on as best I can, my love. Become the father Lara deserves. Know that I will live on in her.
Damn.
First death alone. She was so brave.
Ja, hvor er min crowbar henne?
Might be
Der har
able
vi
to
den.
use this to access other parts of the manor.
Ja, det skal jeg nok gøre. Crowbar can be used to pry open objects. Ja.
There's an inscription. This is the Croft universe. Our knowledge is to the east. Our respite to the west. Our future is to the south. Our past is to the north.
Jeg håber ikke, jeg skal bruge det til
To the
noget.
north. Could there be something else beneath the
Wow,
manor?
Spider-Man, hvad laver du? Der er en skjult ting der, men der var nogle ting udenfor os.
There must be so many secrets hidden in here.
Ja, men jeg læser den selvfølgelig ikke. Så mange sædler.
I tried to see you in person last week, but your manservant hustled me away like some common tout peddling silverware. He told me you are heartbroken and you're not yet ready to see visitors. He told me you blame yourself for your loss. Well, to that, I say, you had damn well better. I hope it hurts. I hope every moment of your life from this day forward is a ringing echo of loss. I hope you live just long enough to feel that pain grow when you hoped it would diminish, because you earned it. You stole Amelia from us. You ruined her reputation and poisoned her mind with a fantasy for children. In the end, you might as well have choked the life from her with your own hands. Do
Whoa.
not contact me again, ever. But you must make arrangements for the future of your daughter. Have you considered perhaps it would be better if you followed Amelia sooner rather than later? As Lara's legal guardian, perhaps I could erase some of the damage you've already done to the poor girl. If not, I will do everything in my power to see to it that the Croft name is forgotten. Lara deserves better than you. So did Amelia. And so do we all. Atlas.
Ja, fuck ham. Wow.
This was part of a set of statues Dad found in China. He thought it was linked to the Temple of Xian. Perhaps I should look into it someday.
Ja, jeg ved ikke, om det bliver det tredje spil eller noget. Jeg har ingen idé om, hvor det foregår henne, og det finder jeg ud af snart.
I have done all that I could, and my Amelia is still cold and dead. Roth first scowled at my designs. Then he pleaded with me not to go through with the ritual. Not because he feared it might work, but because he feared what I might do when it failed. And it has failed. There is no doubt in that. I prepared everything according to my research. When I dropped the stone into the elixir and held it to her lips, I thought for the barest moment that it had worked. The hour was midnight and my pocket watch stopped inexplicably. There was a charge in the air like the moment before a lightning strike. For a heartbeat, I imagined that my life was being drawn from me, as one empties a glass in order to be poured back into Amelia. I would have welcomed death if the last thing I saw were her eyes, clear and alive again. But the moment passed. Amelia is still dead, and I was no Orpheus. We will return to the manor and lay her to rest. I owe her that much.
Ja, så der skete et eller andet. Måske var det, fordi hun var død.
Somewhere.
Måske var det, fordi hun var død. Måske holder det folk i live, men hvis de allerede dør, så gør elixiren ikke noget. Hvordan er der bruger det her crowbar? Okay, men noget siger man, at der stadig er masser tilbage i den her DLC nu. Måske ikke. Ja.
Hi, Dad. So I know I only just returned to school, but when can I come out to the dig site again? It's just so boring here. We're doing all the stuff I already read last summer. I always end up staring out the window and thinking about our expeditions, and then I'm yelled at for daydreaming. I promise I'll be good and not disturb you and just work wherever you tell me. I just miss it, Dad. And I miss you.
Ja. Noget siger mig, at jeg skal ovenpå. Jeg ved ikke hvorfor. Men jeg ved, der er ting, hvis jeg går tilbage af. Som jeg har skabende her. Jeg kan virkelig ikke huske, om jeg har set andre steder, jeg skal gøre det her. Der var noget i den der i hvert fald. Men der er noget i den her.
Lord Croft is resolved to seal the west wing of the manor. I try to talk sense into him, but he will not be swayed. And to make matters worse, I believe his experiences in Tibet have only further fueled the fire of his obsession. He's now up at all hours in his study, researching God knows what. And poor Lara, she is so confused. Too young to understand the tragedy that has befallen this great house. My dearest hope is that Lord Croft will emerge from his grief and embrace fatherhood and the love of his daughter. But I fear he may give in to his obsessive nature, that which Lady Amelia tempered in him so well. In any case, I will be a rock for young Lara. She will never sense tragedy and sorrow in me, only the love and support she deserves.
Stærkt Wilson går ud fra, at du er i hvert fald. Jeg er ret sikker på, at der ikke er flere ting hernede i hvert fald. Så der burde være noget et andet sted i huset, som jeg skal bruge en crowbar på. Jamen, jeg kan ikke huske, hvor det er. Jeg vil godt passe, at jeg så ind et sted. Men hvor har jeg ingen idé om. Okay, jeg fandt ikke et andet sted, jeg kunne bruge min crowbar, men jeg har fundet det her. Så jeg placerer... Hvor kom den fra? Hvor tror jeg den fra?
To the east, our respite to the west. Our future is to the south, our past is to the north.
Så vi skal mod... Så vi skal mod nord. Eller hvad? Fuck væggen, ja. Sådan der. Forhåbentlig er der ikke mere. Jeg er ret sikker på, at jeg ikke har set flere ting, jeg kan gøre heroppe. Så jeg går ikke ud fra, at der er noget. Men igen. Det må tiden at vise, om jeg pludselig finder et eller andet, jeg kan gå tilbage og finde. Hvad i alverden er det hernede? Jeg går ud fra, at det hernede, hun har begravet vores mor. Men
Incredible. This crypt was here all along.
ja. Jeg skal lige læse den der først.
I expected a sort of crushing finality to grip me when we returned to the manor to lay Amelia to rest. Indeed, once the last of my funereal duties were performed, I fully believed that I would crumple to the ground next to her and expire, not from grief, but succumbing to the terrible exhaustion of the last few weeks. Instead, as the mausoleum stones slid into place, I felt a sort of peace and energy. One that I confess caught me entirely off guard. This was not the terminus of our story, and I was a fool to think so. Her body may be gone, but her spirit still resides here, in the manor, in me, in Lara. Her soul is forever twined with mine, and death is just a momentary interruption. I walked out of that cold quiet into a sunlight that burned my eyes, and I have never been more sure. Death is not the end, and there is work yet to do.
Ja, men igen, hvilket vejen Source kunne have reddet hende, hvis han fandt den? Ja, jeg ved det jo selvfølgelig ikke.
My God, can it be? Dad, you did bring her home.
Ja, jeg synes ikke, jeg kan se andre ting rundt omkring. Så jeg tror, det her det er slutningen måske. Ikke åbent den.
My dearest Lara, it is difficult to write this, knowing these may only ever be words on a page to you. I wonder if you will remember my voice.
Det gør jeg tydeligvis.
Will you remember the way we used to play and laugh? Will you remember me comforting you when you were sad? Know that I'm still with you, Lara. My energy, my love. It's within you. It always will be. Use that energy to pursue your passions in life. Never let others determine your journey. You become who you are through your choices, through the love you give and the promises you keep. I hope you are happy, that you are loved and successful in whatever it is you choose to do. I am proud of you, my darling. Remember me with all my love, your mother.
Var det slutningen? Jeg er mørk på mit webcam. Er det virkelig slutningen? Men jeg fandt aldrig et testament eller noget, der sagde, at stedet er mit. Så, hvad sker der?
A letter.
Oh. Er det sådan noget relics? A letter. Hvor fik jeg den her trøje fra?
Lara, I have received the notarized affidavit confirming Amelia's grave and the discovery of the burial crypt within the manor premises. While I can't fathom why your father would hide your mother's fate from her own family, I cannot deny that any legal claims I may have had on the estate are now null and void. Croft Manor and the remainder of your father's assets are now yours in perpetuity to do with as you wish. If there comes a time when you require assistance in managing the estate, I hope you will consider contacting me to retain my services. Sincerely, your uncle.
Fuck off.
I've been so focused on defying my uncle, of fighting to keep his hands off this manor, that I never realized how much this place actually means to me. But since I've been here, I can feel the presence of my mother and father. I sense the entire history of my family and the deep roots we have in this place. I want to honor my parents. I want to honor all of my ancestors. The Croft family may be all but destroyed, but I will make our name and our home great again.
Ja, og det kommer du til, fordi altså, hvor mange Tomb Raider-spil findes der ikke lige? Altså, den her Lara har i hvert fald 3 spil, hva'? Den er vist 15 i alt, eller sådan noget. Jeg ved det ikke, hvis man tæller alle de andre versioner med. Men ja, de sagde dog, der er andre relics rundt omkring, men vi har lige taget historien op. Historien er højt sandsynligt slut nu, så derfor tænker jeg, at det her vil være et godt sted, at vi slutter af. Og det betyder så, at vi vist er færdige med Rise of the Tomb Raider. Jeg er ret sikker på, at alle de andre ting, jeg så, bare var sådan high score minigames, så dem tænker jeg ikke, jeg vil spille på kanalen. Så jeg tænker bare, at vi hopper direkte ind i Shadow of the Tomb Raider, som er det sidste spil i den her Laras historie. Så jeg ser bare jer der næste gang. Tak fordi I så med alle sammen. Hvis I kunne lide videoen, så giv gerne et like. Og hvis der er flere af de videoer, jeg laver, så giv endelig et subscribe. Og så vil jeg se jer i næste afsnit af hvad end jeg laver. Hej hej!